Thank you. Yep, you pronounced my name right. Thank you. It's kind of a hard one, that German last name. Um, Thank you for having me. I am a transplant. I am from Rosebud Reservation in South Dakota. I moved here about 5.5 years ago. I worked in the nonprofit world my entire life, including starting when I was 6 years old. I actually grew up in the nonprofit world with my mom's grassroots nonprofit, working with Indigenous people, first with mental health laws on the tribal reservations in South Dakota, and then she moved into independent living. And so my entire life I have done nonprofit. And so 5 years ago when I moved here, I started another nonprofit working with people in recovery. And then when the funding ended on that, I became a stay-at-home mom because of the cost of daycare. And my husband, Ethan Schnitker, he was like, well, you need to do something more than clean our house 7 times a day and be excited when you rearrange the pictures on the wall. And I was like, yes, I am well aware I need a new hobby. And so I have been making plant medicine, homemade soaps and salves all of my adulthood. And it's something that I grew up with, knowing about traditional uses of plants, how to use them, how to prepare them, how to harvest them. And so I've done this my whole life. And so it wasn't not anything new to me. And my husband gave me the idea and was like, well, why don't you make these and sell these? And I said, because no one's going to buy my weeds in jars. Like, everybody can go out and do this by themselves. And he's like, no, they can't. Nobody knows what this stuff is. And I was like, well, to me, it's common knowledge. So apparently I found out that I am wrong. He is right. And so we mark that on the calendar. And and today we are in our 3rd year of Lakota Made, which started out as just a couple jars of salve that I made and posted on Facebook and sold them in a day. Made another set, sold them in a day, and then now I'm making bigger, more products. I have over 60 some products on my website right now. And we average about 250 to 375 last year in sales, I think it was. I think I just got my taxes done and I don't remember numbers, but it was a lot. It was more than I thought. So my little at-home hobby definitely grew. I have 1 full-time employee. My husband helps out when he's not at work. My friend Gus also helps out. He bags and tags all our soaps. We also have an MSU student who is an intern, and I have a community volunteer, Tori. She is about, I think she's 15. Her and her mom came to me at a farmer's market, and she comes every Wednesday. And so we do random volunteers. We have kind of a community. My kids also help out a whole bunch. I have a lot of kids. I have a pile of kids. They're all girls. I have about 8. But my friends kind of joke around that I must have a sign in my front yard that I adopt random people, because I just have a random assorted people always in my house. Good people, awesome people, lots of people that just want to hang out and have a good time. So with Lakota Made, it is a growing business, and our struggles are our local marketing. We have only been I keep saying we, it's the group of us. We have done vendor markets a majority of the time. That is where we kind of really have thrived and have grown, is through local vendor markets, local farmers markets. And COVID kind of threw us through a loop through a couple of months. But what happened was where vendor markets were 80-90% of our sales, that dropped down to 0 right after COVID. And then our online sales actually kind of went through the roof. And I am not a for-profit person. I am a nonprofit person. So for-profit business is all brand new to me. And so we tried out this thing called Facebook ads. And that has worked really, really well for our online business. And now that is 95% of our daily sales. We average 30 to 50 orders a day. A day, that's a lot for a small business. And then our struggles are now shipping. I am hiring another person for shipping, but where we are really struggling is with the local post office. Not the people themselves, but once the package leaves the post office, it looks like a forklift has run over it in a lot of cases. And so we are losing tons of money on shipping. Using the post office, no fault to our local post office they are awesome people. They do go over the top for us. It's once the package leaves our facility that packages magically just disappear, turn into thin air. There's packages that are just smashed beyond recognition. Despite all of our best efforts of packing, because I do use glass, I try to be as 100% plastic free as possible. I even recycle other people's bubble wrap. So I ask that other business, I had put it out there to a local eco-friendly group that I will take your bubble wrap and your peanuts and your packaging to keep it out of the landfills. I try to be as earth friendly as possible. And so I take that. And so we work really hard to protect our packages and they still get smashed. So that's kind of our current struggle right now. The other struggle that we have outside of that is trying to find local people to do our labels and our stickers that are cost effective or something that's comparable to like Vistaprint, which is super cool that they're cheap and awesome. And I always get everyone always gets really good coupons when from Vistaprint, but I would like it to be local so I can call someone and say, hey, I'm out of stickers, I'm out of labels, can I get them reprinted and pick them up tomorrow? That would be awesome, instead of waiting a week or two for them to come in the mail. And sometimes, when they come in the mail, they're damaged, which is what we're having. Shipping is just not my friend in the last few weeks. So that's kind of our struggles right now. And I am definitely open to all questions, comments, criticisms, and all that other stuff. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Megan. We will move into questions. So for those who aren't familiar, if you have a question, feel free to use the raise your hand function or type your question into chat. We will call on you to read your question out loud. That way, those attending via Facebook Live are also able to hear the question, and then Megan can respond to your question. If you're attending via Facebook Live, feel free to type your question into the Facebook chat, and then we will be able to read the question for you. I do see that Kate has a couple of comments to share.
Well, I typed them in so I wouldn't have to talk, Ryan. I was just going to say that I work with Riverbend Business Products quite a bit for my printing, and so you might find them to be for what you're looking for a local printer for pretty much anything that you need. But I had started to type ecoenclosed.com does recycling friendly labels. I love them for, I ship shirts in poly mailers, but I get 100% recycled and 100% recyclable poly mailers. And then I use their labels because they are recycling friendly. So that if they aren't local, which is why I stopped typing it. And then I thought, well, I'll just include it anyway. But I really like their products, and they are very focused on being environmentally friendly.
Cool. What was their name of the company? I'm sorry.
It was ecoenclosed.com. I put it in the comments too.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bobby Dringler has his hand raised.
Yes, say Megan, from somebody that has never had experienced any of your products, can you pick one out and tell us about it? Like your creams, do you make your creams right from the start? Is it your recipe?
Yep, all the recipes that are in my products are mine. They're variations of different plants, things that work together to create different help out with different home remedies. So I make all my stuff. I make all the soaps, I make all the lotion bars, I make all the lip balms, I make all the tonics, the tinctures, all that is made by me.
So it sounds like you have quite an array, a wardrobe of products. How many products do you have out there?
Over 60. I have 9 or 10 different kinds of plant salves. I have 8 different kinds of shampoo bars. I have 5 kinds of lotion bars. I have 5 different kinds of tinctures. I have 11 different kinds of teas. And it keeps growing. So
Yeah, since this COVID thing has happened, I've really turned into an Amazon buyer. Can I buy on Amazon from you?
no, I looked into the Amazon thing and we lose a lot of control over our products. And so I wasn't too savvy into the Amazon thing, that and the massive amount of volume that they would need. I would have to just provide just to Amazon and I would basically lose my ability to do markets and things like that because I would just be fulfilling Amazon and I didn't want to do that, so.
Megan, to add to Bobby's questions, would you mind if I shared my screen? I have your website pulled up to scroll through and show people some of your products as we
yeah.
continue
Yep,
some
go
questions.
ahead.
Okay. So I will share this screen as your website. If any come up that you'd like to speak to, I'm just going to scroll through some of these pages here. Let me know. But I just wanted to show some people some of the products that you are making.
We do all of our own pictures and some of them we're still working on updating them.
Now, all of these ones that are faded out, that means you're sold out of these ones?
Yes, and we get sold out really quick. So
Yeah, it seems like you guys are doing doing really well in terms of selling out of some of those products. I'm gonna stop sharing there. I just wanted to give people a quick look at some of what you're making.
yeah, thank you. I do make everything in small batches to kind of keep the quality control, and which, we sell out very quickly. I can't keep infused honeys in stock for longer than a day or two. And those take like 8 to 10 days to make. So I can't, if I could make them in bigger batches, I would have to buy bigger equipment. And then I am scared about using bigger equipment and then I lose that small batch quality. And so I guess I'll just keep selling out. But yeah, I make everything in pretty small batches. Honey comes in batches of 17 8-ounce jars. Shampoo and body bars, those are my biggest batches where they come out in batches of like 60. But those take 6 to 8 weeks to make. So everything takes time.
So one of the things you had shared, so you said, it sounds like you're doing a lot of shipping. You had shared, it sounded like a little bit of a struggle of getting the word out locally. Who's the target market for the majority of your products?
We kind of actually, the hippie type eco-friendly people. People looking for home remedies, looking for health and wellness, is basically our target audience. People that like to shop the locals farmers market, looking for local products, locally made products, sustainable products. That's kind of our target area. We make everything from, everything that I make, I use at home. So parents, people looking for, just, locally sourced things. And that's our biggest target.
Awesome. Another question I had for you, and again, as people come up with questions, feel free to type those or use the raise your hand function and I'll call on you. But another one that came from that I was thinking of regarding shipping, which is again one of your biggest challenges. Have you explored the use of other last mile delivery services or other shippers, or at least consulting with them on what to do to ensure that your products aren't being damaged in the shipment process?
We're looking at like just yesterday I got fed up with the post office, like done, need to find another method. And so I barely started looking at the whole UPS thing. And or our biggest, feedback is people are like, oh, use UPS because, there seems to be a lot of less issues with them and they have great customer service. I don't know how to go about that. I am like totally new to this whole thing because everything I do is through my Shopify account. And so Shopify handles everything that I do, from my point of sale, my in-person sales to website sales, my payment system, my capital loans come from Shopify. I mean, everything Lakota Made comes from Shopify. And so I don't know how to go about finding another, because that's the default shipper with Shopify is the post office, which is cool because we get awesome rates, but at the same time, I'm losing tons of money on broken and damaged products. So
Mm-hmm. So we have a question from Facebook, and then we'll turn to Erin, who has her hand raised, and then we'll go to Mike Hermel. So the question on Facebook comes from Anna Anderson, and she asked if you only ship or if you have a local pickup option.
I did the local pickup option for quite a while through the Wooden Spoon, which is in Old Town, which worked out great. And then it didn't because people abused the system. And then we had some crazies just kind of ruin it for everyone. We had a lady that ordered online. Just to give an example, we had a lady order online and 5 minutes later she was blowing up our phones demanding her order. Well, she ordered at like 6 a.m. and Wooden Spoon's not even open till 8, and she threatened us with cops. She verbally harassed us, abused us, and I was like, and we are done with local pickups. So I am going to open up a store in June sometime in the Frost Plaza building, and then we can do in-person shopping, local pickups again, so that we can better do a better system with local pickups. So and to give me a break from some people that have ruined it, a handful of people that ruined it for me. I needed a break. So shipping is our only method right now.
Well, that's such an exciting update on the store, so thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Erin has her hand raised.
Yeah, hi. I was wondering, like, kind of what is your future goal for Lakota Made? And I guess the reason why I'm asking is because you want to continue making in small batches, and
Yeah.
you've got so many products. I mean, the question that pops into my head is, does it make sense for you to keep that many products or to scale back so that you can focus on, maybe top sellers or something like that?
So what I have found that works with Lakota Made is that we kind of, we have that many products, and then once something starts to fall off down into that it's not selling thing, then we take that one out, and then we either make something new with it, or because I try not to waste materials. That's like my biggest fear, is wasting material. So something always gets rebirthed. And then having that many products, it's easy for me to restock something. Well, something else, I can have everyone focus on this product that is overstocked while I'm restocking this one. And so it's kind of like a cycle type thing that I do. So if like So Fresh shampoo bar is out, I can be like, okay, hey, look, we're overstocked in acne bars, or hey, look, look, I have a new lotion bar. Well, this other soap completely falls off, off the grid. So it's constantly cycling because I do make stuff in small batch. I don't ever want to lose revenue or income by being completely sold out or narrowing down my products where I can't cycle through and keep up with sales and revenue. So I just cycle things out, and we have gotten rid of 8 bars that did not sell well, but then we replaced them with something else. And so cycling things is not a I guess traditional business method in retail, but it works really well for Lakota Made. It's a distract, like, hey, we're sold out of this, but look at this. It works. It works really well for Lakota Made.
Another suggestion for the cycling out, I don't know if you've ever done any packages combining a few items,
Yeah,
but make a few packages and then when they're gone, they're gone. But to get rid of some of those items,
Yep, we have bundle packages that do certain products, but then we also have a misfits package that is like a once a month type deal of miss pours, funky looking soaps. Someone forgot to label it and nobody knows what it is. So we always have a stack of that, and we sell those at a significant discount. And so like we try not to waste anything. So like the half jars of quarter jars of honey or half jars of salves or, you know, mismatched soaps, or someone forgot to label it, so we always sell those. We try to get rid of them, and then we do what other thing I forgot to say is that we do recycle all of our bags and our bottles, and so people do bring those back quite frequently.
I'm going to skip ahead to Mike Hahn because he needs to leave, and then we have Mike Hermel and then Julie Hawker after that.
Morning, great presentation. Now, I take it that you're, reading your website and everything, you're located in South Dakota, but I know that
No, I'm in Minnesota.
you're in Minnesota. Okay.
Yep, I live here in Mankato.
Okay, all right, no problem. I'm gonna just basically, what I have is not, it won't be applicable here, so I was reading the website, I thought maybe there was a little bit of South Dakota tie there as well, so I'll just let my question go to the side.
Okay, I will then go to Mike Hermel and then Julie.
Morning. Yeah, that was a great presentation. I've worked many years in industry shipping lots of stuff, not personally shipping it, but from companies that ship lots of breakable things. And so I was wondering if you have talked to anybody professionally about packaging your glass products. One of the first things that came to mind, we used to have this foam that you kind of sprayed into the box. You put like a plastic or a layer, you push in the glass item, you put another plastic over the top, and then you spray it. So it basically comes apart in two pieces when the person opens it up. But from a glass point of view, you could drop that from a 20-foot building and the glass won't break at that point. So there's a lot of things you can do from the packaging point of view, because I understand what you're saying from the post office, but I think that's probably true with all the shipping services. Things can become damaged pretty quickly, and all the products that we ship that were breakable, you wouldn't believe what kind of packaging those pieces went into. So I was just wondering if you've talked to anybody like that.
No, I haven't. We try to do everything, like we really are small, like me and Claire do all all of it. We just hired someone for shipping, but like we try to make sure that we pack all our own boxes so that we know what went in there, and then we put our business cards and our thank you cards in there. So I haven't really looked into outside of doing packaging in-house, because I'm worried about keeping making sure my cost stays down, so that I don't have to raise my prices, because I like to stay pretty affordable for everyone. And so yeah, I'm definitely open to looking at things that can help us, but then like I'm worried about the recycling part. How recyclable, reusable is the packaging that we're using, because we do have customers that send back huge boxes of the packing that we have. We get bags and bags and boxes of reusable packaging. So I do know we need to figure something out as far as like, yeah, that glass part.
Awesome. Julie Hawker has a question, and I also wanted to give a brief update. Normally, we'd be done with a presenter at about 9 o'clock. Because we only have one presenter today and we had some technical difficulties at the beginning, we'll try to give until at least 9:15 if there are still questions coming in. Julie.
Megan, you must not sleep at night.
No. No.
Between your house full of little girls and the work that you're doing, and the other things that you're involved in, you probably get 2 hours of sleep a night.
Oh,
My-
you're almost there. It's like 3 to 4.
So Megan, my question is, I've looked at your website and I've seen how you and your girls go out and you gather the materials. What do you do in the wintertime for raw materials?
We over harvest. So I have an idea in my head as far as about how much I'm going to need for the winter. And some of our items have been sold out because we did run out of stuff. And so that's just kind of a learning process for us. I do reach out to local farmers that I know do certain herbs, and I try to buy from them. And then like some of our spices, like they don't grow here. So I try and find the most sustainably sourced, like cinnamon doesn't grow here, star anise doesn't grow here. So those I try and find the most sustainable sources that I can, but a majority, like 98% of our plants, we harvest ourselves. And so we try to make sure that we harvest enough. And it's a lot of work, but it's well worth it to make sure that we keep the quality of our product, because I know that a huge problem with people doing alternative medicine that order their herbs, sometimes they get like mixed in with grass clippings and bugs and animal, you're allowed by the FDA to have a certain amount of dead animal in your in your ground up herbs and coffee and stuff like that. So that kind of creeps me out. So we try our best to make sure that we harvest enough in the warm season.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. Kate Hansen has her hand raised, and then Matt has an update. I also just wanted to share, Jessica Miller did pop into the Facebook chat and noted that she thinks your products are wonderful.
Thanks.
I was just gonna throw back to that eco and close about the question that Mike had about boxes for shipping. When you go on their site, you can actually shop by the type of product that you want to ship, and it gives you recommendations of the products that they have that will help. And so they have, you can get boxes custom sized. They have packing materials that are recycling friendly, all of that kind of stuff. So Megan, when you're digging around out there, make sure to take a look at that. So sorry to jump back to that topic, but.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, Megan, Matt Lessard has a question. I know he's having some technical difficulties. It looks like he can unmute, so I'll let him ask the question.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. First, Megan, I've seen your company and advertise and such, and I'm a believer in these types of products. My question to you, and it comes more of a macro sense, your hobby's becoming a business, right?
Yeah.
You can tell you're very good natured and you want to offer products to help people. You're getting into the mindset where you're going to have to be a business in some form, because at the end of the day, there are competitors to you, I'm sure, in some form. Is that correct?
I would assume so. Yeah.
Yeah. And so to me, if you want to become a regional business or a Midwest business, I think a lot of these comments today are about how do you streamline a plan, maybe on paper, and say, listen, here's my 5 focuses, here's my 5 challenges, here's my solutions. I mean, I would, if you haven't done it, Megan, I'd look into how to develop a one-page strategic plan for yourself to cut through the noise, but also to serve these clients that probably are looking elsewhere at times. And your product quality sounds very good. And my initial comment was about raw material costs with volume, but you answered that through how you gain your raw materials. But supply chain could be on your list. So my advice, and I work with SPDC and other things, and myself, I'm an entrepreneur, is really I would recommend a one-page little strategic plan for yourself to really help you get through these challenges, because you are doing really well, but it'll get overwhelming at another 10, 15%, right? So I would look at building a small little strategic plan.
Cool. Thank you.
And tied to Matt's comment, he mentioned the SBDC, and if you haven't worked with them, the SBDC is the Small Business Development Center, and they have a team of consultants, including Matt and other consultants that provide free support to businesses and can help with things like that, or if you've made up a strategic plan for yourself, can help review a strategic plan. They have a team of marketing professionals that might be able to support that and could possibly help with some of your shipping issues, or at least be another avenue to bounce some ideas off. So I did drop the link to that website in chat.
Okay, thank you.
I did have one other question regarding selling your products. And again, you've been using farmers markets and things locally, you're shipping, and then you have the plan to open a store. So that might adjust the suggestion or the thought that I was going to share. But for those products that have longer shelf lives, perhaps the soaps and things like that, have you explored partnering with organizations in the community that offer services to the type of clients that you're reaching out to? So, I'm thinking, places offering some type of healthcare, places offering massage therapy, things like that, where their clientele might be interested in purchasing your product.
Yep, we have we have products at the St. Peter Co-op. We have stuff at Minari Body Works in North Mankato. We have our biggest selection of products are at the Blue Boat, which is downtown in the old mall. And then, so those are our local wholesalers. Otherwise, we have like 11 wholesalers that are out of state. And so like with the farmers markets, we had a disagreement. They thought they didn't have to answer email about how to pay them through PayPal. They wouldn't give me their PayPal information. So I didn't get into the farmers market this year. And so that was kind of the whole thing with opening up a store. Is last year I threw my hip out doing farmers markets three times a week. I'm 38. I have rheumatoid arthritis and a degenerative joint disease as well. So I can't do 16 80-pound totes 3 times a week anymore. And so the store is to help with the local sales. We will still do small vendor markets outside of the Mankato area. But the majority of the local things will be sent, will be focused on our store.
Awesome. Thank you for that. There was also a suggestion for a book that might be useful to your business. It is Business Boutique by Christy Wright, and that came in from Anna Anderson on Facebook. So if you'd be interested in checking out that book, she gave that as some advice. Are there any other questions, comments, suggestions for Megan? If not, we will move into having one of our organizers ask the final 1 million cups question. Erin, it looks like she has another question or some feedback.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm curious, when you open up your store, will that be a store that you're able to make your products in at the same time, or will you end up making your products where you currently are?
Actually, we're already in the building where the retail store will be. We're actually just downstairs from where our retail spot will be. So we're like less than 10 feet from where the retail. So we'll be making our products and selling our products out of the exact same building, which is the only way I thought a retail store would work for Lakota Made. Because if I had to cart it anywhere, then no. So I can haul it upstairs, put it on the shelf, call it good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for presenting today. Thank you for all of the questions. Our final question for you, and this is something to leave us with, and if you can drop some contact information, if anyone wants to follow up on this, is what can we as a community do for you?
Oh, wow. I think this is one of the best ways, another way to connect with my community, which is awesome. The community resources that was given here is really good. And I definitely appreciate all the advice and the feedback that I got. I think this is a great opportunity. So as a community, I have to thank you for, the current support. I don't know what else you could do for me.